And there we go. There's the mixer. Shuffling frames in position here. As I do. Oh, really? The telephone company had a circuit breaker flip and nobody around to flip it back. That's fantastic. That is just absolutely amazing. That's just kind of amazing, really. Man. So here we are on the final chapter of Live I Live. Or is it? Who knows? But anyway, we've already gone through all these other characters. And it is at this point that if you were unsatisfied with any of the way any of these turned out, say you decided, oh, I wanted a different apprentice, or you didn't get the cola bottle and you really wanted to try again, or you just really wanted to see what different fights are like with different amount of traps going off, or you didn't really want him to get to obscenely high levels. Any one of those things, this is your last chance to go back and redo any of these. Because once you start the night chapter, it is pretty much point of no return as far as that goes. So as I will stick with everything we've done so far, because outside of the choice of the apprentice, I think everything went about as well as you can expect, really. Even with Sundown having to go against, you know, extra people because one of the traps nullified itself. Because I sent him out too many times and it got overwritten. Seriously, that's what happened in this chapter. I sent a dude out with the rope and then got to send him out like 2 more times, so it forgot he got sent out with the rope. It's annoying! But anyway. We do indeed have a game. Notice we don't get the pretext for this one. It just jumps us straight into the chapter. The Lucretia Battle Tournament. And already this is looking like a standard RPG. And in fact, this might be the most standard RPG chapter of the bunch. You actually get random encounters again. You will have party members that leave and come back from your party. You will have gear you get to upgrade. You won't do crafting, but you will find better gear as you go along, that type of thing. So, in the West, they forgot our name. And the knight's name is Oersted. When we're fighting someone named Armstrong. In the East, it's Strabo versus Watanabe. They're getting this joke out of the way early. So Armstrong here is Yeah, totally not related to the content of Oerstera from Octopath. I don't know what the continent of Oerstera is. But Oersted here is very low. He only has 2 attacks at the moment. He has a cut one way, which hits at any square he's next to, and a V-Shine, which only hits in cardinal directions. We want to use V-Shine as much as possible. So we're going to walk right up here and chop away. We only have 120 hit points to start out, but it should be more than enough to survive. Even if they do poison us. Yeah, if we die at this tutorial, that would indeed be a sad ending. Although this isn't a tutorial. You're expected to know how to fight here. And of course, Watanabe gets killed in his little round with Strabo. And the kid comes in to cry a whole lot because that is the running joke. Laugh, haha. And bodies get unceremoniously drug off the stage. And we are fighting in this tournament because the winner gets the princess's hand in marriage. Yeah, medieval times are not very nice. Not in the least. And we got Strabo there telling us to give it everything we got because he will be upset if we go easy on him because they are friends. And he's not going to go easy on us. But he is not that huge a threat. He will be able to hurt us some, don't get me wrong. He will be able to do damage. But we will manage to outdamage him a little bit. And he's down. But we didn't kill him. Yeah, Magician in it's not exactly a knight tournament. It's just a warrior tournament. And Strabo is a warrior mage. So, Oersted begins this chapter on a very high note. Winning the tournament, that gets him the hand of the princess. All is good in medieval fairy tale land. And Alicia comments on how strong we are, even though we are like level 2 or 3 at this point. And so after the tournament, Oersted gets a private moment with his future wife. Where she reassures us she is happy to have us as a future husband. And she believes in us. and even gives us a little kiss. But Monster shows up in the castle. We shove Alicia out of the way. And just like before, it would not do to die here, so, you know, we're just going to use V-Shine a whole lot. And easily defeat this thing. Only to have a much bigger demon just kind of swoop down while we're busy with that one. And, steal the princess away from us. Where's Strabo when we needed him to zap something with a magic spell, huh? Yep, that's a demon. There resides in the eastern mountains a demon who despises all things. There resides in the western mountains a hero fated to destroy the demon. And we begin medieval chapter, King of Demons. The king ain't happy. Because the demon was supposed to be dead. Because there was a hero named Hash who actually did kill it last time. But he kind of lives in the has a hermit in the mountains and wants nothing to do with humanity. So Oersted immediately just perks up and says he'll go. Which, I mean, he kind of needs to step up and do the thing because he is the new tournament champion and thus the new hero. So we finally get to walk him around. If anyone says anything new. So we learned that in the past, the hero Hash joined forces with a monk named Uranus to fight the demon and emerge victorious. And those two have not been seen in a very long time. So before we go out on our epic journey here, we can look around. You can take the stuff sitting on the walls, but we don't want to right now, because it will be much more useful at a later date. There are very few items we're actually going to pick up in this chapter just because they are useful later. Much more useful later. I'll believe it. If we go out here, this takes us to the balcony. There's not much to see besides yellow or orange and green brickwork. And we're getting a lot of the standard, "No princess means our lives are in ruin" speech here. So the garden's there. And the whole village has gathered outside to send him off. And the prison's down there because we need a prison or a dungeon. And he offers you stuff from the armory, but honestly, we don't need it. And again, it will be useful later. So the dude here hands you a sword. And the local women are kind of smitten with the handsome hero here. And this guy hands you this thing. That is literally the name of it. It can be used to do some minor damage in battle, or it can be equipped in an accessory slot for +1 vitality. And we want a bunch of these because they're practically the only accessory we can find in this chapter. So we're just going to take a bunch because he's offering this thing, that thing, the other thing. The thing is red, the thing is blue. I'm not too worried about getting a full complement of these things right here, right now. Because as you might have guessed, I will have a future in which I have a save state. But I do need some of them. Still no head gear, okay. So we can equip the sword, we can equip these things. Okay, we got plenty. That's more than enough for right now. But anyway. And this person gives us a healing item. Those things are incredibly useful because they're healing items. And this person literally gives us the shirt off their back. And we get a Joshua seed from his woodcutter daddy, which is a healing item. We hear sisters live in another village nearby. And we get a story. And we get ideas of the local geography. So we tried to leave and someone accuses us of sneaking out. Because Strabo decides he wants to go with us. Because it does make sense. If it's a demon, then you're going to need more than just one person. And unfortunately, Strabo's mostly going to serve the position of punching bag. He's not overwhelmingly useful. I'm just saying. So anyway, we need to kind of wander around a little bit here. Game. There we go. We need to get Oersted level 3 or 4 before we continue on. And actually, stray bow will be fairly useful. It just seems to be common consensus that stray bow is worthless. But he does very good at drawing aggro. There's level 2. We gain plus link, which is something I haven't used a whole lot of. And we need to get to at least level 3. I would even say level 4 before we continue on. Can't hit both of them at once, huh? Can if you do this. And see, we got a hint that the hero that slew the dragon is kind of sitting up on Hero Mountain, just kind of living life as a hermit. So plus Link is kind of a hits everything in the zone with him. Not nearly as useful as you'd think early on. There will be fights it is useful in, but not many of these. North Hero Mountain. And yes, these are tiny little guards riding some type of forest critter that we are going to slaughter. Like that. Stray bow at level 2. He gains a new magic spell. That should have hit both of them, but it did not, sadly. Unless I picked the wrong thing, which I probably did. I probably picked Silver Wind instead of the other thing. And now we get a big enemy, you know, just a bunch of enemies here. So each of these two can hold their own in battle. Oersted a little better than Strabo as far as taking a punch, but you know. And he's just going to level Strabo there. Which is okay, because Strabo still gets experience, as long as he hasn't been knocked out of the fight. Sometimes they make it way too easy. Getting there, he's at 90 experience. Oh look, slugs. Thing eaters. I did not want to fight with that. It worked, but I didn't want to fight with it. Yeah, I don't want to give them that thing. They will eat that thing. Maybe not this thing, though. I mean, luckily the enemies around here are pathetically weak in this first little zone. And finally, Oersted is level 3, and we get the skill Hammer Power and an Alice Biscuit. Just to let you know, it is healing. It's a one-use healing item. And you know. I should have done this, but I forgot. Don't think I have anything else you can... No, I do not. So now, let's save, because... the next area is not supremely dangerous by any means, but it is long. And there are some enemies in here that will actually do quite a number. And as tempting as it is, we do not want to check that, because it's a thing that will be useful at a different point. So if I can remember the correct path to go here, and to pick our way through. Oh, good, cool bulb. Just what I need. And basically, an Armstrong, exactly what we fought in the tournament, is Oersted. But Hammer Power is going to save us against those cool bulb things, because those things are a pain to deal with. And despite those things spitting out ice at us, we can still hit them with ice spells, and it actually does quite a bit to them. This Armstrong is no more difficult than he was in the tournament. He does exactly the same things. So he's equally as easy to beat. And now Strabo's hit level 3 and gained a new spell. For now, every time we level up, I'm doing a save. I think it's blocked off, so... We are looking for a cabin up here on Heroes Peak. And it will be in the second section here. And just to let you know, there is one enemy that if it pops up, I'm running away from. It is not these. I don't think that'll do enough damage. Let's see. No. Plus the fact they do that to counter it. Which is annoying. It basically just caused us a lot of damage. Blue Gale, no. Freeze. Eventually the plus link might turn out to do enough damage to kill those in one shot. And there's the cabin we need. But we're not going to test that theory out again for a while. It's like, oh look, there's a person there. And if we talk to him, he gives us the old ellipses treatment. And goes back in his cabin. Now, he does not lock the door like a smart person would when wanting to avoid company. But he will just kind of ignore you the whole time. However, we need to make note of this shield. And again, ignore the treasure chest for now.